Good morning and welcome to What's New with Mike and Jeff, your Saturday morning hobby hangout coming live via the interwebs. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is Jeff.
Howdy.
Howdy, partner.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Joe is coming to us live from his living room. I am. He's going a little Dr. Seuss on us. It's going good. Lenny has joined us. Top of the morning to y'all. You got to say it with a little Irish accent.
Yeah.
It's hot again. Like our cool down summer has kind of drifted away. We're back up to the heat. But it's short lived, and we will get through the summer relatively quickly.
It's 69 degrees outside right now, and I have a pleasant breeze blowing through the window. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like 120,000 degrees outside, and it's a hair dryer blowing on my face.
Lenny says it's not hot. It's effing hot.
It's effing hot.
Effing hot.
I was trying to pronounce it as a word, but thing is not a word. But now I get it. He forgot the apostrophe.
I was thinking the same thing. but it's Lenny. I'm not going to tell him his punctuation's wrong.
Nah, it just took me a second to catch it. Anywho, life is good. Work is work. Hobby is hobby. That is my quote of the day.
They all must be in tune though for a happy life.
Yes.
That's the hard part about life.
I did have an epiphany. Oh, there he goes. Now he's got it. Effing. Now we understand it. I didn't think when I watched the previews for Suicide Squad, I thought Suicide Squad was going to be stupid.
Yeah.
It turned out to fill the void in my life during Shark Week when we didn't have Sharknado, and it's taken the place of Sharknado for Shark Week.
Okay.
It was that kind of cool, corny, funny, totally everything.
I enjoyed it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was kind of really reminiscent of Netflix The Boys. In its humor, and not totally but in its humor and its kind of locker room humor kind of stuff. It was just fun, but I wasn't expecting it to be, oh, you're watching it tonight, we will not give any spoilers, but other than what we already said, it was a good movie. I
just found it humorous and funny as heck that Stallone voiced King Shark.
And it's the character fits Stallone.
It did actually. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought I had moments in where I'm going, what? Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Dude, it was Sharknado, and I hope DC continues down that road because I don't like the way the Marvel universe is going. Trying to be serious and trying to be very real.
Well, that's always been the problem with DC films, is they were always so real and dour and dark, and they always tried to be really serious. Where Marvel's initially tried to be more lighthearted and humorous, and I think putting Gunn in charge of that and in charge of Suicide Squad, the second one, was just the right choice because he's just really good at that.
Yeah, first Suicide Squad, it was too real, trying to be too. I think they were trying to compete with Marvel with that.
I didn't mind the first one actually.
I didn't mind it, but it was more real, trying to be real and all that. Where this,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, where this Suicide Squad was truly like I was reading a comic book.
Well, see, that's the thing that I actually do take offense to a bit with the word comic book. Oh. People think because it says comic in it, it has to be silly.
Right.
That I do disagree with. But I didn't notice that. That's not what I'm referring to when I see Suicide Squad. I thought it was done really, really well, and it was kind of cool. So
I liked it. I thought it was good. He'll have to check it out. He's worried it would be a poor follow up like Snyder's Justice League. Is Snyder's Justice League follow up the extended 4-hour version? Is that what they consider?
That is the 4-hour version. Yeah.
Okay, I think I've watched part one.
I actually enjoy Snyder's Justice League. I thought it was a much better film than the one that Whedon did.
I really like the Joker. Joker was twisted. Like if Lenny's talking about the one that's just titled Joker,
that's with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, is it Joaquin? Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix, and then but Jared Leto plays Joker in Suicide Squad, and in the little bit with the Suicide Squad, and then he also does it in the end of Snyder's cut for Justice League.
Got it.
I thought Leto's Joker was done really, really well too.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you guys haven't seen, if you're not, I guess to me, put it in if you're expecting a deep rooted, like symbolic, like realistic, I don't think the current Suicide Squad is that. I think it's a very good. It's just fun. It's funny, and
it's just entertaining to watch.
Yes, and sometimes you need that.
Well, the biggest problem with comic book movies, comic books especially for people our age, they're so, for me anyway, I'll speak for myself. Comic books are so entrenched in my youth that they provided me with a certain aspect that I look for in the movies, and that's different for every person that read comics or watches comic films. So that's why you have such a diversity in what people like and what people dislike about comic films. And so that's the thing that I enjoy most about pretty much. I haven't seen a superhero movie that I've disliked yet, because I like all sorts of way comics are written and the way they're done. So,
well, and comics have evolved over the years from what they were when they first came out to what they've gone through or what they've become, because now they're considered more graphic novels, and
right.
And they're heavier, and they're Morning Raymond. And they're a little bit more trying to be more serious, and they're adding in more worldviews and stuff. But I don't know, man.
The writing in comics has always been phenomenal. I mean, Watchmen was one of the best written comics ever. And if you actually are a aficionado or a guy that's really into comics, the writing in comics through the last 3 to 4 decades has just been phenomenal. I mean, they have really, really strong and great storyline. Have you seen the new trailer for Spawn: Let There Be Carnage?
No, I haven't seen that trailer yet.
Oh yeah, there's a full trailer out for it now, and it looks really good.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
But all I want to say is num nums.
Num nums.
Num nums.
Yeah.
Dude, it was such a again. If you got some time to kill and you just want a good laugh,
and it's a really good film. I like it. I actually I watched it. It premiered 7:00 on Thursday night, and I was sitting in front of my TV watching it. It was awesome.
Yeah, we watched it last night after Andy came home from work, because it was one of those. I said, well, let's just give it a shot.
Yeah.
One of the things I read is someone posted something saying this is what comic book movies are supposed to be like. Like they were very. I'm like, now they got me intrigued. I said, I'll try it. I'll try anything once, and I just got hooked. And because I thought the whole shark thing was kind of silly and polka dot man.
Whoa, stop! Now I have to call BS on this.
What?
You like Sharknado, but you thought the Suicide King shark thing was
again.
This will be our last live stream, folks, because I've lost faith in Mike.
No, it's not that. It's because I've gotten so used to the Marvel stuff.
But okay, no, that Marvel's got nothing to do with it. Sharknado's an idiotic, stupid film.
I know.
And
but I go into
that. You love those, but you just said with the Suicide Squad shark thing you had a problem with. And I'm
because when I watch Sharknado, I have this I already know what I'm expecting. Like Sharknado, I knew going into Sharknado. The title alone told me everything I needed to know. Sharks in a tornado. I had no expectations. But when Suicide Squad came out and they had this shark introduced, my expectations were like, what? A shark? Because I'm not in the world like you. It's not part of my.
I'm just trying to.
I know.
I'm trying to equate the lot between you're okay with sharks flying around in tornadoes and a bipedal walking, talking shark. Those two things you can't. Your brain can't.
Well, now that I've watched it, now I've embraced it because DC is taking it to that level.
So
they didn't.
What you're really saying is you didn't know what to expect.
Right.
Right. Got it. All right.
And now that because I thought again, they were going to be serious and they were going to be real, but you got a walking, talking shark. Okay.
Right. There's certain levels of absurdity that come with a comic book, and there's two ways that they can either embrace the absurdity and just kind of let it go, which is what they did, or they can try to rationalize it and make it realistic, which just ruins it.
Right, because you have a toilet for a helmet.
Yes. It's a similar justice.
Again, so that's why it was like a little rough. But once I started, I was like, "Yeah, this is awesome." And especially the opening scene.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, Nathan Fillion's character is just TDK. Was hilarious.
Yes.
Did you see the after credit scene?
No.
Credit scene.
Oh shoot! I'm gonna have to go watch that after the live stream. Again.
There's a post credit scene that was actually kind of cool. John Cena again was also phenomenal in it.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really done well. So
he looked. I don't know if they enhanced his image, or if he's just during lockdown just hit the gym. He looks a lot.
It looks like It looks like hey, one day he goes, you know something, Dwayne Johnson's more ripped than me. I got to fix that.
Because he was like a lot bigger than he's normally been.
Raymond's asking who's Milton.
I know. It's hilarious.
Well, but for me, every character shine. I mean, I'm a big fan of Harley Quinn, and Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn, and I thought she was just phenomenal in it. I mean, I enjoyed pretty much every aspect of it. And like I said in the beginning of it, I'm just sitting there going, what the
Raymond's yelling at me because I didn't stay for the critic scenes, all that talk, and I should have known better because that's all Marvel does anymore. You would have just assumed DC was doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with movies now. I mean, I'm watching all the Fast and the Furious films. Right. And what I didn't realize is even though they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, that's not the sequence of the timeline. So I had to go find out what the sequence of the timeline is.
And rearrange rearrange how you watch them.
Yeah, and they have after credit scenes.
Yeah.
So now I don't normally miss them because I actually am one of the few people that enjoy the credits. Because I like to see who does certain things, and also, like I said, when our kids were growing up, my oldest daughter created a game for watching the credits. I think I've mentioned before on the show. So yeah.
And for me, it was just late. I had to go to bed, but I'll watch it because I feel like now I've missed out on something. Yeah. So great. Yeah. John Cena has.
Yeah. He was. Wow. Yeah.
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 And at first it was like, that's like, I thought maybe they did some computer enhancement, but then as you watch it, that's some hell of a computer enhancement if they did.
Well, I've seen him on his promotional tour, and he's that ripped. He's really gotten ripped.
Raymond watches it to see how many people have his last name and are working in movies.
Well, that's what my daughter came up with. We actually sit in the credit scene, my kids and I, when we go to the cinema, and count how many Smiths were in the movie.
All you got to go is watch a Will Smith movie.
Well, you'd be amazed. No, it's got to be in something else.
Oh, okay.
But you'd be amazed at how few there actually are. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
I can guarantee you it'd be a rarity to see someone with my last name.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's just not, I don't have a common last name.
Now I'm going to have to start looking.
All right. Maybe one of my long lost cousins is in movies. Anywho, great movie. Give it, if you, again, my own prejudice, my own filters in life. I was kind of poo-pooing it, but now that I've watched it, I'm now embracing the DC movie direction.
Well, yeah. The other thing about DC though is DC is really dependent. where Marvel has Feige that kind of keeps everything in line to what their vision is. Not saying it's good or bad, but he makes sure they stay in line. DC, you can really tell who the director was because they don't have that kind of a consistent rhythm in their films. So DC, and I said putting Gunn in charge of the Suicide Squad was brilliant. So,
and I'm assuming DC has its own universe and they have all these linked stories and
DC used to. They have the Marvel Cinematic Universe and then they have what they call the DC Extended Universe, where DC's tried to keep their movies in sync with their comics, where Marvel's kind of gone. We have our comic universe, we have our TV universe, which kind of ties into the cinematic universe. So the two, they'll take stories from the comics, but they'll alter them for the films. So the two aren't connected as much. Where DC's tried to leave that all coherent to a certain extent. I think they're away from that now, though.
And again, you don't see as many DC movies as you do Marvel. Right. They're out there, but there's not. It's just not like you don't see all the series and all the other stuff. So it should keep.
I completely agree with.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is one of the reasons Marvel has an advantage is they have their own production company, Marvel Studios, where DC is relying on Warner Brothers.
Right. Which that's where Warner Brother goes. We don't believe in this project. Copped out embracing the multiverse concept. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's just several different realities, so they're kind of doing the multiverse thing. So
hopefully it's just a one-off. If it's just a one-off movie and stays because you got the old Suicide Squad, which was obviously kind of a one-off.
Yeah.
This is kind of a one-off. So who knows what other kind of weird thing might pop up in the future?
Who knows? So when you were talking about Sharknado versus King Shark, it triggered something because there was a time when I was working at Waterloo where I had gone and seen one of my favorite films, was Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood.
Ooh.
Okay, and I just went and seen it, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And we're in the store the next day, and a couple guys had come in to see it, and they're talking about it. And I said, "What do you guys think?" He goes, "Well," one guy goes, "It just didn't reach my expectations." And I went, "How can you have any expectations from a movie called Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood?" I go, it says it all. Here's what you have. You have a bordello full of female vampire prostitutes and a bunch of guys that go in there with super soakers filled with holy water. How can you have any high expectations for that?
It's kind of like me and Lenny having high expectations for Glenn Danzig's new movie. I saw the trailer for it and I'm like, this is a Glenn Danzig movie. It is. It's got naked women, vampires, and terrible dialogue.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will love it and embrace it.
Joe says the multiverse means that they have 53 versions of Batman, which makes sense.
They do.
And then Raven says, Joe, they've embraced the multiverse concept for a long time. I just wish they'd keep the movie universe to one. Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff, you can't forget Ballroom Blitz play. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The soundtrack for that movie is just phenomenal. I mean,
that's what makes a good movie is a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
If I say Starship Troopers, what's the one song that pops in everybody's head?
No, I don't know. I really don't. You have to tell me.
It's the woohoo. It's I can't remember. Blur. They got one good song. It's like song one. I forget the name of it. But all we do is go woohoo.
Yep.
It's just the tune pops in your head.
Well, the Suicide Squad had a great soundtrack. The music is good.
First one,
the one they just did. Yeah, the one you just watched.
Okay, I'd be honest with you. I don't remember any of the songs because I was because I was focused on the movie. Like
I wasn't criticizing.
No, I'm just like I don't really remember any of the songs because
you instead of just fast forwarding to the after credit scene that you missed.
No, I'm gonna rewatch it.
You rewatch it, and this time pay attention to the music because the music ties in really nicely.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why I didn't pay attention to it as much because it probably blended so nicely with song number 2. Yes, Raymond, that's what it was. Blur, song number 2. But because it blends so nicely, I was like just watching the movie.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Good stuff. Anywho.
I really enjoyed it. And I'm really enjoying, I've never seen all the Fast and the Furious films. And they've actually, for being, you want to talk about fantastical, the things they do with cars are like, okay.
they're kind of the superhero for the car guy movies.
Yeah. Well, I think I watched 6 or 7 last night when they were all attacking this gigantic Russian plane. And I was loving it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. But in the back of my head, I'm going, this plane's trying to take off. And it's like 20 minutes of the movie. They're trying to take down this aircraft. I'm going, how long is this runway? Again, it didn't take away from the film because I was just enthralled by all the action going on. So.
When they drop tanks out of airplanes, man, then you know you've reached the pinnacle.
Well, that's the other thing. The body count in that film, because that tank is just rolling over cars on the freeway. Just rolling. I'm going, wow. the death and destruction in Fast and the Furious, this one especially, is horrific. So.
Remind me afterwards, because there was only one question that came to my mind during Suicide Squad that I don't think I want to share on the stream because people haven't watched it yet. So remind me after the show, so maybe you can. I think I know what was going on, but I kind of just want to get your.
We'll talk in our post world solving problems.
There we go. But for right now, we should probably share pictures with the rest of the world.
We actually have some pics.
I know.
We have some pics.
I saw some.
I'm pushing buttons. They haven't rearranged these buttons, so I'm still good.
I have to admit, I couldn't help but see Peter as the doctor who whole time he was on screen.
Yeah, the thinker, the guy with a little.
Yeah, but he was the thinker.
Yeah, Peter Capaldi was also the 12th Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Doctor Who. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with his credits as Doctor
Who. He played the 12th Doctor for a few years.
Sweet.
So. And I have to say, this is my favorite piece of terrain Joe's ever done.
With all the green highlights.
I love this piece of terrain. This is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It kind of has that tarnished bronze look going on.
It absolutely does. I thought he did really. That's a really nice job.
Yeah. Good going, Joe.
Boom.
More scatter terrain for. No, this is Age of Sigmar scatter terrain. Yeah. At first, I thought it was going to be more orc scatter terrain, but
it was all the skulls. You thought it was 40K terrain.
Yes, exactly what threw me off. Yeah. I thought it was corn terrain, but good stuff.
I find this really cool. I mean, great piece of terrain.
Yeah,
a lot of detail. Great piece of terrain, a lot of detail, and then a curb.
Boom. Keeping you on your toes, man.
Painted really well.
Yeah, it's gold. It's all gold.
Yeah, it is. It's all pretty.
It works.
Yay!
Boom, chakalaka.
Mukari.
Yeah, he's done, and I'm sorry. I tried going with a green base rim, Lenny, but it was too much green for the model.
And I see that you have the right scale for Mukari and Gazgul.
Yes. It took a while to find a really good photo of Gazgul.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they just don't have a lot of good photos of him. Obviously, advertisements and stuff like that, but finding a solo photo of him.
No, I like it. It looks really, really good.
Thank you.
And then there's my. I've been showing it on camera, but not having shown any pics of it. There's my.
He's all finished.
And I got to do the base yet. I just thought I'd put some pics up because he is done. I just need to finish the base, and I'll put some pictures up when the base is done. But there he is.
Loving it. Just loving it.
In all his glory.
Love those fingernails.
You like that, Dan?
Yeah. That worked out good.
I actually really like the back. The only thing I didn't take photos of was the shields on the legs.
Sure.
They kind of get lost under the weapons, but I like this shield on the back.
Well, and they're kind of partially covered, so it'd be hard to get a good photo of them.
Yeah. But
it looks awesome. I love the two tones on the two different shades of black and white on the wolf skull.
Yep.
Gives you a whole Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, I that's off the front of the Storm Talon. So I've had an extra one, so I threw it on there. So it didn't come out too bad, and I think that's it. There we go.
That's all your Pop Goes the Weasel stuff.
Pop Goes the Monkey stuff.
No, gotta go Weasel.
No, the guy just I've ordered more from him than I think I have any other supplier, and I'm going to be ordering more because I'm just sad. I'm just sad.
I was going for Jade on the statue. Any tips? I'm not familiar with Jade as a color, the color of the stone.
This is just a ploy by Joe to keep us talking about his model. So
it's okay.
It is okay. I'm just teasing him.
But again, I'm not familiar.
I don't think, buddy. I think you captured it. Let me go back. Let me go back to do some more screen sharing here.
Here. Button pressing.
Yep. Let me get back here. Get my cursor there, dude. I think that's perfect. I mean, you got the highlight. There's not a whole lot more that I can suggest to you. That says Jade. There's no two ways about it.
What colors are in Jade though? Is it just green, or is it a green blue? Is it a green yellow? Like
Jade is just it's just a green. I mean, they can vary like a diamond or a ruby. They can vary in shade. They can vary in age. I mean that says Jade. I mean, but it also, if it was going to be like a brass or a bronze, you'd have still some brass or bronze showing through. But that looks like a jade carving.
And if you were going with a metal like a brass or a bronze, then you would add in some other type of weathering techniques. But if you're going for a stone technique like marble and other stones, the colors are usually blended nicer and they're not as harsh. Like marble has kind of harsh stone lines,
right?
But it's more of the contrast than it is the harshness of lines. But like rubies and stuff, you just see tints or hints of other colors.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put any kind of an art coat on it at all, Joe, because it's that gloss or that coat would be lost over time. So you've got it. I mean, it wouldn't be all bright and shiny. It wouldn't have a gloss coat because it would be exactly like. I think you did perfect. I wouldn't change anything.
I would leave it.
Yeah.
Nope. Just leave it the way it is.
I like it a lot.
Take the compliment and run with it.
There you go.
So cool stuff.
Cool.
All right. Should we get started?
I'm ready to paint.
All right. Well, let me kidnap everybody so I can turn on my lights, or my guest painter can join us.
Stunt painter.
Voila.
I discovered last night while riding my motorcycle that I have to spend today putting brakes on my motorcycle.
Stopping is kind of a recommendation. It's not required, but it's recommended.
Yes. Well, you can always stop, but that's either you can either use the brakes or the car in front of you or a tree. Yeah. There's many ways of stopping. Just some are more eloquent than others.
So here I am with my Giant. I got them put together. I got all the epoxy sculpt. So what I did for epoxy sculpting, and you can see it right here, I didn't like that separation between these flesh and the pants.
Right.
So I took epoxy sculpt and just made it look like bunched up material for the pants to kind of blend, get rid of that line and just make it look a little more natural.
Yep.
And I got them Zenith Gold highlighted, which I use aerosol. I just sprayed this.
It's an easy technique to use. I mean, we got what you wanted out of it. Absolutely.
So what I want to do next is I got my airbrush booth all set up. So I put my exhaust fan. I did my inline exhaust fan to help vent out more. Because one of the problems I had with my airbrush is a lot of the dust was coming back into my room and just creating dust over everything.
Right.
So I put an inline exhaust fan inside the tube.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. Yep. So what I want to do next is I want to take some red and hit all the crevices with a red and kind of add some color differential to his when I go over it with flesh tone.
Right.
So that way it's not just all flat flesh.
Right.
If that all makes sense.
It does.
So that's where he's at. So he is pretty much done for now. What did Lenny say? I have to put a new battery in my bike this week and change the oil. Why? Added fun stuff. Yes, that is fun stuff.
Yeah, I get to go out today and sit down and this falls apart. Pull the rear calipers off and I need to my clutch fluid is low, which is kind of disconcerting.
Your what is low?
Clutch fluid.
That's not good.
Well, it's just brake fluid in a reservoir, like your brake.
Yeah,
fluid.
but why?
Yeah, it's like okay. Well, yeah, it's also that probably. I think it's been a few years since I've had that area, flushed out and changed. So
okay, well,
yeah, I haven't noticed any leaking or anything like that. So we'll just have to check it out and see what's going on.
Today, what I want to do is get all the basic material down on the orc boys that I'm painting for my Warlords of Erewhon army.
You got any major plans today?
Actually, no. I got to go pick up the groceries after the show. And then after I get back from that, I'm going to watch the closing credits of Suicide Squad. And then I think we're just going to go hit a couple more. Andy's gotten really back into crafting. So I think we're going to go hit a couple of the local craft stores. And then hitting Trader Joe's. Because there's some special food she needs to get for a recipe she wants to try. So that's it, dude. It's going to be a lazy Saturday. And for me, it's Sunday for me because I go back to work on tomorrow. So
right.
So it's going to be a lazy Sunday.
Very good.
Yeah. Kind of looking forward to it. Probably sit in the pool a little bit later.
Always fun.
Yeah. Spend a lot of time keeping it clean. I might as well enjoy it every once in a while. What about you?
I'm gonna finish this up, or finish the show up. Then I'm gonna go yank the rear caliper off the bike.
Oh, you're gonna jump right on it then?
Yeah. Well, I need it. I need it now. I need to be using it a lot more. I don't normally go a lot of places. And if I go to the grocery, I can carry a lot of groceries on the bike, but bread doesn't usually survive very well.
Bread doesn't survive.
Well, back in AZ, what I would do is because I lived less than 100 yards from the grocery, I'd just take the bread, loop it over my handlebars, and just drive the 100 yards to the condo, and that'd be done. But here, in my grocery store trip, it's like a 5-mile drive.
Right.
And I don't want to have this bag blowing off my handlebars for at 55 miles an hour. So I usually take my daughter's car to the grocery, and but I'm because the weather's been so nice, I've been riding my rear end off. And last night I just happened to look down at my clutch, wasn't acting up, but I looked down at there's a reservoir on there's 2 reservoirs on your handlebars. The one on the right is my front brake reservoir. And the one on the left is my clutch reservoir. And I look down, it's got a little visual window on the side where you can see where the fluid level's at. And it's like, holy crap, my clutch fluid's low.
Well, that's good that they put it. That was like they're thinking.
So it's like, wait a minute.
Because how many people actually check their clutch level on their fluid?
So I've got to go back, and I got to go pick up some brake fluid and redo the brakes and then refill that reservoir, but I want to make sure I've got no leakage somewhere. Of course, now it works like a brake system. So if I actually had leakage where I'm actually losing, the clutch would also start. I think the clutch would start acting up a bit. So
it gets spongy, and
it hasn't had any problem shifting. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But that's pretty much my day. Then of course back in working on terrain for the shop.
Yeah.
So.
Got a lot of terrain coming out.
Not as many as I hoped. I'm running a little bit behind. I got behind over the pandemic because just being locked up in the apartment, I just had a hard time focusing on painting.
Sure.
So not as many pieces as I want, but I'll be out again probably sometime around the holidays, and I'll probably bring a whole bunch more out with me then as well.
Well, we made some changes in some of our plans.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going to kind of get a little geeky. Well, and we wanted to take a vacation. Like we haven't been on a vacation, like a real vacation, in a while.
Right.
And Andy's birthday's next month.
Right.
And we like to usually do something on her birthday. Usually that's when we take like one of our bigger trips. And we had planned to take a trip to Florida.
Right.
Go hang out at Universal Studios, We stay at the Hard Rock Hard Rock Hotel, which is just it's a walk path away from Universal Studios, and it's a really nice hotel to stay at. You know the trip.
Yep.
We've done it a few times. Well, Disney released their annual pass plan again.
Right.
Well, it didn't really change that much from the old annual plan.
Right.
Hold on one second. Go. Sorry about that. I got to pick up the groceries, and there's an item they're not going to have for me. So.
Oh no.
So anywho, they updated it, and Andy and I started talking, and as soon as they updated it, Andy got an email from Southwest saying, $50 trips to California.
Right.
So we're going to cancel our Florida trip, and we're going to go ahead and get the annual passes. And we've already scheduled 2 Disneyland trips for later this year.
Awesome.
So
that sounds fun.
Well, that's her thing. She really loves Disneyland. And they got all the new changes. They got the new Spider-Man ride in there that we haven't been on yet. So,
all right, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a good way, and it's gonna cost us less than going to Florida.
Yeah, I love that.
And the biggest hang up it's just being on a plane for 6 hours.
Oh God, yeah.
Like I don't know how long the trip is for you from Maryland.
If I get a direct flight, it's about 3.5 to 4 hours, depending on the airline.
Right. Depending on how many people bring carry-on luggage and take forever to load up. God, I hate when people bring on carry-on luggage.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
They don't know how to just. Anyways, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I always bring a carry-on, but my luggage is, I don't try to pack everything in one bag. That's one thing. My carry-on I can usually throw in the seat under the seat in front of me with no problem at all.
See, and that's carry-on. Like if you can't just throw it in the seat in front of you, it's when the people are like trying to finagle and put bags, and they don't,
And you see the guy doing football blocking moves to try to get his bag up in the overhead compartment.
Yeah.
Punching it and trying to push it in there.
The only thing that makes traveling on airplanes miserable are people.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true.
They're like, why don't you just check your bag? The airline's been, doing the whole bag check claim thing for, I don't know, a couple decades now. They got it down pretty good.
I actually found a little way around that.
What's that?
Well, here's the thing. If you have a bag, you should check, because everybody brings carry-on bags, and most flights now are overloaded. They almost always have the announcement just before the flight that baggage, checked bag space is limited. Please bring your bag here to check it at the gate. You don't have to pay.
Right.
So on occasion, I'll take a bag that is a little bigger than it should be for carry-on, because I'm usually bringing an army or something.
But your expectation is that you're going to get to check it for free.
Yeah, and then when they basically they'll make that announcement, I'm the first one in line. Well, yep, here you go.
There you go. Check it.
Thank you.
What I don't like is because you get one check baggage per person. So like the family with 3 kids bring all their check baggage.
There's sometimes I see people traveling. It's like, are you moving?
Yeah. You got like everything under the sun. Those small seats don't help either. No. The flying sardine cans. So anyways, going to California, just because we go through John Wayne Airport when we go to California.
Right.
Which a lot of people are like, why do you fly to California? Just drive. I drive for a living. I hate driving.
Well, that, I've made the trip from Phoenix to LA. It's not a bad drive, but it's still a drive.
Yeah. The way we experience Disneyland is different, because we're going to maximize our time there.
Right.
So like the last day, the last thing I want to think about is I've got to drive home after being at Disneyland. Like,
yeah, I've now got, a 9-10 hour drive, or however long it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not worth the headache.
I get it. I absolutely get it.
Especially when you're getting flights from California to Arizona for like $50. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I mean, I don't mind to drive. Like, for example, when a couple times I've been to Sturgis, I drive. That drive for me is nice because I plan a country route, and that's all about, I'm on the motorcycle. That's the whole thing, is about the ride.
That's the experience.
Yeah, but but if I'm going to go to see like Disneyland or Universal, it's like I don't want the experience before that to be I've got to deal with freeways for 6.5
right.
Yeah.
So we made some changes with that, which is fun. So we're going to get the annual passes. They go on sale August something, and then we've already got 2 trips planned. And the thing is the annual pass for us, just one vacation trip pays for our annual passes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because the annual pass is like $650 a person.
Right.
Well, if we would stay and buy like park hopper tickets for like 3 days,
right,
we'd be spending that much money.
Oh, there you go. Absolutely.
So we'll just do the annual pass.
That makes sense.
And then we've already got trips planned out and hotels booked, and
we did that with Six Flags. There's a Six Flags in Virginia, which is really close to when we first moved to Maryland. That was we lived fairly close to it, and the kids, we take the kids to the water park and all that stuff. And the first time we went, we just paid, and we're like, man, that's a lot. And then we found that they had like an annual family pass. So every summer we'd just buy the family pass, and we got unlimited visits for the summer, and we'd saved so much money. Like our initial cash outlay was a little higher. But then, when you're going once a month or 1 weekend a month or 2 weekends a month, you just save so much more money.
Well, and when it's that close, it's like California is not that close, but like we can just go do a weekend trip. It's like, yeah, what do you want to do? Well, we got easy, cheap flights to California. Why don't we go Disneyland for the weekend?
Yeah, there was a couple times where like, what do you want to do this weekend? Hey, let's just take kids to Six Flags. That was the amount of planning.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
Yeah. Because we had to pass. The only thing we had to budget for was food.
And the only thing they really changed is we have to reserve our days.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's just because of everything going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's blackout dates. Obviously, they're peak time. We can't go, but we don't go during peak time, so we don't care. So it works out for us. So
when I was booking my flights from Montana back to Philly, I was going to leave on a Monday morning, and I had the flight wasn't expensive. It was just more expensive than I thought it would be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, let me check. And I literally changed my departure date from Monday morning to Tuesday, and the ticket price dropped like $80.
Yeah.
Just because it was a non-peak travel day.
Yep.
So I'm like, Darren, do you care if I stay an extra day? Nope. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And they do that. Non-peak days. We were going to go to Florida the week after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Because for Universal Florida, that is a low peak time because everyone's gearing up for the holidays.
Right.
But flights were like $200 more than we wanted to pay.
Right.
So that had also a little bit to do with why we made the decision to do Disneyland.
That makes sense.
But we're kind of just vacation deprived.
Yeah, I can understand that. You guys are pretty good at just taking those times and just getting out for a while.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. We're kind of excited. Yeah. Dude, Andy was literally in tears when they brought, because we thought the annual pass was basically going to be either out of our reach financially,
right?
Like they were going to jack the prices up or they were just going to change it in such a way that it just wouldn't make sense for us to do it anymore.
Right.
And they really didn't. It's pretty much still the same annual pass it's always been, just different restrictions as far as you got to reserve your times, which is fine, and some blackout dates.
Awesome.
So yeah. So good to go see the new Spider-Man ride, which sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So I'll take lots of photos.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Good time.
So I got you coming down in August.
Woohoo!
And then we're taking off in September. So get a little vacation times. because I'm taking a week off in August. But unfortunately, I'm taking the last week of August off, which you're already gone.
I'm out.
I'm out taking like the 29th through the 1st off or something like that.
Here's where I am so far on ye old jump pack.
Here, hold on. Whoa, wrong button. There you
go. Basically, all I got left to do is the gym. Skulls are pretty much done to a level that I want them to be done.
Sweet.
There's the
engine.
The engine that I'm going to work on the gym now, and then the backpack will be officially complete.
Completo.
Oops, once again, my brush work is a little messy. I got a little bit of touch up there. You can take me out full screen now, buddy.
Cleanup phase is an actual phase.
Cleanup phase.
Cleanup phase on the jetpack, please.
Everybody's favorite phase.
Yeah, it's got to exist. Anyone that says they don't have it, I would have to question. Got to play Gaslands yesterday.
You got to play some Gaslands?
Yeah, Tim and I got together and played a little Gaslands.
Sweet.
I lost, but it was still an epic loss, which was fun. It just boiled down to one of those things where we're both down to like just a few wounds each on our lead cars. And it was just a matter of who could get those wounds off first, and he got them off first. And then my other car just couldn't catch up to him. It was just too far because we were doing a race.
A race.
Yeah, but it was a good time. Good time.
Yeah, I'm right now making sure I got everything. I'm packing my cars, how to get those packed in the suitcase.
Sweet. So. And I got the dice tray from David.
Nice.
So I want to paint up that dice tray for him. I was hoping he was going to join us. I need to ask him if he had like what his vision was for it to be painted, because now that I see it in person, it's got like Joe called it Aristea, a look to it.
Right.
So I don't know if he wanted it to be done in some sort of like futuristic kind of colors, like neons, like cyberpunkish.
What kind of theme he was looking for?
Yeah, or if he wants it to be Gaslandsy.
Okay.
Is that a word? Is that a word? Kind of rusty, grungy kind of a look. So I will need to clarify that for him. And then he also gave me a bunch of parts. He printed off a bunch of parts for the class.
All right. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Exciting stuff.
I'm doing so much with terrain and trying to get stuff done for Come On. I still haven't got him the stuff I need. He's been so gracious as to offer to help me with my website. Now I'm letting him down. So,
well, you're busy man.
It's more about me just making sure I take the time. Like yesterday, I was running around so much and doing so much other stuff. I didn't get anything done yesterday.
Time is the one thing that wrecks us all.
It is a pain in the tuchus.
So I think that's one of the hard things about me watching too much television is you lose so much time.
Well, I'm the king of that.
Well, that's why I always find myself like multitasking when I'm like trying to do other things.
Watching TV is kind of my forte.
But when there's a show that captures your attention, go for it. Or just one of those shows you just really love watching.
Well, the nice thing is most of my TV watching is not so much me watching it. I listen a lot.
Yeah.
I usually have my TV on when I'm painting. So
I find YouTube sometimes, having the computer at my desk sometimes is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because when I watch like YouTube videos, and Lenny turned me on to some other bands. He sent me some links to some bands. One was called Alestorm.
Yep.
Which like pirate metal.
Oh, wow.
Just hilarious. The heavy metal pirate drinking song is just hilarious. when I watched, but the videos were just kind of captivating with, just stupid kind of corny, don't take themselves too serious type stuff.
Right.
And they were just awesome. But some of the other ones that were like a little bit more, it was all stuff off of Napalm Records, which I follow their videos, but he gave me some links to some cool songs. Power Fang was one of them. Some of them are just really like little movies you're just watching. And they're just pretty epic. Epic stuff. Yes, Alestorm is amazing. I'm totally picture Alestorm at a Renaissance festival. Just going nuts. Especially on Speak Like a Pirate Day. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, Mr. Bradley.
Mark has joined us.
How you doing, buddy? A guy that I started working with at Games Workshop that I met at the 97 Grand Tournament just moved back into the area, so I'm going to drop him a DM today. Say, hey, we need to get together, pal.
Who's this?
Mark Renier.
Oh, how come that name sounds familiar? Either you mentioned him before or...
I've probably told you the story that he and I were at the 97 tournament. He was playing his Empire Army. It was the last round. It was the fifth round of the tournament. He's playing his Empire Army. I'm playing my Bretonnians. And Jervis Johnson walks up and says, this is what Warhammer's all about. Two beautifully painted armies. I mean, just stoked my ego beyond belief. And then Jeremy Vitok walks up and says, you do know that you and Marker, that you two are tied for best painted. And I had to be honest. I said, well, Mark's army is much better than mine. And of course, then Mark won best painted for the tournament. So
by one vote.
Ooh, Mark's going to Vegas.
Ooh, Vegas, baby.
That sounds like a fun trip.
I'll be there in January. I won't be teaching a class, but I'll be there.
Yeah, that's still disappointing.
It is, but life is full of disappointments.
It is, unfortunately.
It's just a matter of how you respond to those. I've been doing a lot of self-help lately. I need a lot of self-help.
That's not unusual. Oh, Nats, IPMS Nats is there. Oh man, I wish I'd love to go to another one. I went to one in Phoenix. I have a silver medal from Phoenix.
Ooh. I have great memories
of
the one in Phoenix. I didn't win a medal.
Well, my thing won a medal.
Yeah, I know. Mm.
I love saying that.
You just love saying that. Oh, he's also going in April for a wedding.
Ooh.
Look at you going. I'm assuming somebody else's wedding because Mark's already married, if I'm not mistaken.
To a phenomenal painter.
Raymond's going to be in Vegas in April for a wedding too. I wonder who Raymond's wedding is. He's going to.
Whose wedding is it?
I don't know. Raymond, why don't you tell us whose wedding you're going to in April? I don't think I want to spill the beans. It's the first real vacation that Jamie and I have had, and we're going early to see the shows in dinner. Of course. Vegas has a lot to offer. It's not just gambling and drinking. Oh, Raymond spilled the beans. Raymond's getting married in April, you guys.
What?
Yes. That's he recently went to Vegas. He was doing recon. We all thought he was doing recon for LVO because he stayed at the Rio, but he was doing recon for his wedding and where to get married at.
He's going up for the Elvis Chapel. Married by Elvis. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
May kiss the bride.
If I'm not mistaken, he's getting married at Caesars.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations, buddy. That's fantastic.
Very exciting stuff.
Why am I always the last to know? Oh, could be 3,000 miles away from everybody.
That might be part of it.
Maybe a little bit to do with it.
All right, so I got all my orcs based, and they'll just simmer on the side until they dry, and then I'll start getting them primed. And again, these were all painted, and I stripped them and all that good stuff. Mike, it's just a short drive. You should come up and enter the show. Then, if you win, you can show the trophy on your desk during the show. I'm all over that. I should do that. Put my trophy right here, center of my desk. That would be a brag.
I love the coins they used at IPMS, the Nationals in Phoenix. They were awesome.
They're gorgeous. I started working on the dice tray for the
OG.
For the OG. We accept wedding gifts from IO gift cards. Oh, that's funny.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, well, it's funny because it's probably going to be what you get from me. And speaking of Raymond, I ordered your coffin. So Raymond has asked me to make him a dice tray. He wants a coffin style tray with the Necron logo inside of it.
Right.
The little lines almost look like something from Tau, which is really kind of weird, but I get it. It's still Necrons inside of it. So I went shopping for coffins yesterday, which sounds weird to go shopping for coffins.
I've done it too many times in my life.
But we couldn't find any at the local store. The ones we found at the local store might have been like 6 inches. 6 inches. So I had to go online to find one, and it should be. I had to go to Amazon, my nemesis, to find a coffin, and I found one. So should be getting one of those. So I got everything pretty much in motion for our deal. So I will start working on the coffin next, and then, which is just something I want to do for fun.
Sweet.
Because I like to make dice trays. But the one I ordered is supposed to be 12 inches, which I think is the perfect size for a dice tray for a coffin because, well, it's a coffin. Like, it's long and slender.
It makes sense to me.
So we'll see how that all turns out. Because what I'm thinking, I'm going to try 2 different things. So the coffins came in a 2-pack. So I'm going to try one where I actually freehand the art, all the lines, because it's just lines. So I'll do it freehand. And then I may try printing the art and just seeing how the art goes into the coffin. But I think the freehand one will probably look better. What do you think?
I think it would too.
So.
I'm in the middle of painting this tiny little thing.
Oh, I get it. Oh. Man, I wonder if I'm going to get any of my groceries.
Well, I think that's going to have to be because I'm just done.
You're done?
Done with the gem.
Okay. I'm like, you still have some painting to do on that, sir.
Like making me crazy. There's the gem.
Yeah, I got to give you full screen. I can't see it. Oh, very nice.
That is the completed. Now, when I'll seal this and then I'll give a gloss coat on the gem.
By itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is the backpack. The jump pack is finished.
Le jump pack.
The jump pack is done. Woo! Now get started on this guy.
What's that?
The actual guy that wears it.
Yeah. I'm doing an old school black orc.
Black orc.
All metal. Because I'm just in a heavy metal kind of mood today.
I'm in a metal kind of mind.
Oh. I hear a song in your future.
I'm always in a metal kind of mind. I got dirty looks yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Sitting in an intersection in Elkton with, Five Finger Death Punch playing. And,
what song?
I can't think of the name of it now. Oh, you asked me too quick.
I know. I'm sorry.
I
don't know. I don't know that.
I could sing it.
Oh, go for it.
No.
Better off without you.
I cannot do. I mean, if Brian Young and I can't think of the name of the lead singer for Five Finger Death Punch, I cannot mimic their voice in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we will just carry on.
It'll come to me.
Unfortunately, it's going to come to you at the weirdest moment, and then I'm going to get this odd text message with just a song in it, and I'll be like, "The fuck is this?" Oh, excuse my language.
You look at you.
But that's usually how I'm like. That's what happens. I'm like, why is he sending me this? What is? Oh, it goes to our conversation.
That's what he's doing. When I become obsessed, I now have to go to my library of music.
Jeff, that Storm Boy looks pretty good. I love Mark.
Whatever.
Whatevs.
Bum, bum, bum. It's called Dot Your Eyes.
Oh, yes. Cross your T's.
Yep. But it's, it's not just dot your eyes. It's, it's got some language in it, and I don't go with the edited version. So
kind of like I just dropped the wrong word.
So some woman was in her car, had her windows down, and of course then when I'm riding with a motorcycle listening to music, I have it up quite a bit, and I sometimes neglect to turn it back down when I'm at an intersection. So I just let it blare. And she was giving me dirty looks.
You're polluting my airspace with that heavy metal music.
I know, I'm horrible.
You're a horrible, rotten human for enjoying the soothing sounds of Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah. Or AWOL Nation.
Or any band. Yeah, it's kind of rough for me in my work truck when a really, really, really good song comes on and I'm in the work truck.
You want to jam it?
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do this at a stoplight because, like, people might hear the county government city employee playing that devil music.
That loud devil music.
Unfortunately, the way cities respond is, well, we'll just take the radios out of the cars.
Yeah, because they can't just discipline one guy. They got to punish everybody.
Yes.
I know that mantra.
It is the shotgun approach of management.
Yeah, it's too bad FH couldn't join us today.
Hefe.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad. I haven't seen him in a while. His little snarky comments he'd leave were always kind of nice.
What about how's Greg been?
Good actually. He's living in Pittsburgh. He and his girlfriend bought a house. And
didn't he just have surgery?
He did actually. Well, he had about 3 months ago. He's actually doing well. Getting back on his feet, back to work. He and his girlfriend bought a house in Pittsburgh. That's where he lived, but he stayed in Connecticut until his daughters graduated, which they just did this year. Which I still can't believe his twins are graduating high school. They have graduated high school. It just makes me feel really old. And so then he and I think his daughter Haley, who's going to college in that area, moved to Pittsburgh just recently. So
sweet. So life is churning away, churning through.
It's doing what it always does, just keeps on rolling. And he and I play World of Tanks like 2 or 3 times a week, just in this BS. So.
Well, he hasn't joined us in a while, and I just wanted to make sure he was.
Yeah, he's got this thing he does. He's got a life. His fiance is a rocket scientist, and I'm not exaggerating. She does work with AI or something like that. It's just she goes to conferences all over the world to talk about her stuff. She's much smarter than me.
Yes, she ended up with a gamer.
Yeah, but Greg's also one of those highly intelligent guys.
Okay.
don't know why. I just find people that I can be friends with that are much smarter than me, and that way I just feel stupid every time I talk to them.
Well, what you're hoping is that some of that intelligence will go through osmosis.
Hasn't yet.
I know. It's like, how come that doesn't happen? Well, you hang out with me, so I kind of balance that out for you.
I didn't say that. You don't want to put it on the record that you said that yourself.
That's all right.
I wasn't even thinking it. Wait, that's a lie. I can't really back it. Yeah, we are talking about Rothhauser, buddy.
Yeah.
He's now the thing that I like to pick on him about, and again I say this, and his fiance Henny is a sweetheart. She's absolutely a fantastic person, but she's only 2 years older than my oldest daughter.
Oh.
And Greg is not that much younger than me, so I always give him a hard time because Kiri, he refers to him as Uncle Greg, so I have to always kind of rub his nose in that. However, I say that, and I'm picking on Greg, but Henny is fantastic. I love her to death, and I've only ever met her once, and it was during the pandemic. So we had a meal at a picnic table, 6 feet apart. They came down. Greg came down for the wedding, and she had some stuff going on in DC, so she dropped Greg off, and then she headed on down to DC. So we had a meal. I've met her one time, talked to her on the phone many times, but she's a sweetheart.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, Greg is dating a girl half his age or almost half his age.
Yeah.
So
love is blind. And
unless you're in a relationship like that, you criticize it. Oh, that stuff's ridiculous until you yourself find a girl that's age or a relationship with that age. So.
Nice.
But he is doing well since his surgery.
Good. That's the important part.
Yep. And then he had his 50th birthday. So I got to hold everybody to try to get him to do, videos to say, hey, and how you doing? And
cheer him up a little bit.
Yeah, that was all Henny's idea, actually. She called me to try and kind of gather up some friends that she wasn't acquainted with. So I went on a manhunt to all the people that we hung out with.
To get doing the old high school reunion thing?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. So I got several people to send videos and wish him a happy 50th.
50 was a hard one for me.
I'm now 2 years away from the next milestone, which really bothers me.
Well, just keep buying miniatures you can't finish painting, and we'll be okay.
I have enough stuff in my closet for I want it to be 3,000.
Well, that's the goal.
So, but yeah, 60 is the next big one for me. And the other thing that I woke up to this morning was my mother passed away 22 years ago today.
Oh, sorry.
No, I miss her terribly. I think about her there's not a day goes by I don't think about her. But she passed away 22 years ago today. I'm just staggered by the fact that it's been 22 years since my mom passed away. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
It's been 29 years since my dad passed away.
It's rough, dude. It's like the thing that's important is, and Andy sees this all too often in her line of work.
Absolutely, I bet she does.
People that are dying, there's always those family members are like, well, hold on, we got to wait for so-and-so to come say goodbye and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you should probably enjoy people while they're here.
Yep.
Instead of waiting till they're on their deathbed.
Yeah, not quit. Don't. And it's the thing about it is though, life sets you up for taking things for granted because you got so much stuff going on, or at least you think you do.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, even me. That's why I always kind of correct myself when I say. A lot of times I'll say, well, I don't have the time. Then I'll usually stop myself and say, wait a minute, I'm not taking the time.
Yeah.
I'm in the section of my on my Noom diet plan where they're actually teaching me how to manage with stress. And I've never tried meditation before. I've never tried it, and quite frankly, I've always thought it was kind of a bupkis thing.
Yep.
But they basically talk about the different techniques. So I actually tried a couple of them, and I found one that actually really works. And I was kind of blown away by it. So,
which technique, if you don't mind sharing?
It's there's several. There's one where you're aware, where you just kind of sit and you focus on the noises and the sounds around you,
mm-hmm.
and you kind of focus your mind to look at those, which does not work for me because my mind is a torrent of stuff all the time.
The voices in your head are screaming at you.
Yeah, absolutely, and switching from sound to sound just amplifies that. So there's one, it's a breathing one, where you basically close your eyes. You can do it in any position, but you just basically breathe in and breathe out, and you count to 4 each way.
Right.
So when you breathe in, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when you breathe out, you do the same thing. And that is the only thing you focus on.
Yep.
And I'm doing it. Basically, I just do 5-minute sessions, and the 5 minutes flies by, and it really clears my head.
Yep.
So I've never done it before, and I try to set aside 5 minutes 3 times a day to just kind of get my head straight, because one of my biggest problems with my eating and is the level of stress that I don't know how to manage.
Right.
So
you get all caught up in all the rigmarole of life.
Yeah.
And
I honestly think I'm undiagnosed ADD, because I didn't have ADD when I was a kid.
Right.
But as I go through life, I have a hard time keeping my head on one thing, or I go the other way and I can't stop thinking about the one thing. Like you've seen me before.
Obsessive disorder.
Yeah, you just see me before a show. I'm just hyper focused on what could go wrong. Once the show launches, I'm fine, but up to that point, I can't get off it. So I'm doing a lot of self-awareness stuff, if I say that.
It's kind of what I'm doing right now.
I have a friend that keeps saying, "Get out of your comfort zone, do something new."
Exactly.
I hate that guy.
You need to be uncomfortable in life. People need to understand that being comfortable is not. So I'm reading a book called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And one of his sayings, or one of his and all meditations, it's not about meditating like in your sense.
Right.
They're just little journal entries in a log that kind of talked about his philosophy of being stoic and stuff like that. Anyways, one of his things is, being comfortable in bed and having that conversation with yourself about getting up and doing what you were meant to do in life. But it's so comfortable in bed that a lot of people choose to just stay in bed and not do what they were meant to do in life.
Right.
It's very unique philosophy type stuff, but
yeah, absolutely. No, it makes sense.
You need to be uncomfortable, get out of the comfort area, and go out there and do what you were meant to do.
Whoever that guy is that keeps pushing me out of my comfort zone, I wish he'd die in a fire.
You know what?
I was great in my little grumpy area of life.
No. I am all about that.
I got through my birthday week with my diet horribly. Because everybody in the family will take you out for dinner, we'll bring you food, and I did not survive do as well as I wanted to, but I have got back on track, and I'm now at over 17 pounds gone. So,
sweet.
So the thing about the Noom diet, I'm having a hard time getting my head around, but I think it's best is the weight loss is much slower.
Right.
But it's more of a steady decline, if that makes any sense.
Nope, makes perfect sense.
So
it's not like the diet I took was a rapid loss diet.
Right.
But now I'm suffering those consequences because I'm gaining some of that weight back because I'm not on the meds and I'm not on this and I'm not on that. So now I need to switch to like a Noom style diet where I can focus on the maintaining of my weight.
Well, I got to tell you, the Noom diet for me, I think what it's helped me more with is that like the meditation and just being able to focus on what I need to focus on.
I love it.
kind of help me deal with my stress and other stuff. And I did find out, I mean, even though I was coming back from Middletown on the motorcycle, and I of course did not close my eyes. But while I was driving the bike, one of the things on the bike is most of the time on the bike, I have some really nice, clear thoughts. Like if I'm driving across the country, when I'm actually doing like highway driving, it's monotonous. So my brain just starts to wander to all these different things. And I actually tried the breathing while I was riding the motorcycle to just keep my head clear.
Sure.
I didn't focus on it beyond not being able to control the bike, but it was just something that I've never done before. I never even knew how, and I think that was the biggest obstacle. And so now that I've started to, kind of, I guess, practice that a bit, I can certainly see what all the hype's about.
Well, it kind of makes your riding more of a Zen moment of enjoying the ride and the adventure. Even though you're just riding down the street, it's still a little bit of an adventure because you're on a bike and you're kind of feeling everything around you.
Well, the weirdest part for me on my motorcycle is the only time that when I'm just riding, because of how I'm setting on the bike, I don't have any back pain.
Oh.
I mean, I have back pain all the time. But when I'm on my motorcycle, I don't. I mean, now if I hit a hard bump or something like that, I have some pain. But just when I'm just sitting there doing a normal ride, I don't have any back pain, and that's usually enough to clear my head.
Yeah, but you add in the relaxation part, and now you're just a gangbuster motorcycle rider.
Look at us being all zen.
Look at us.
Meditation.
It is the What's New with Mike and Jeff show, and we explore all facets of life here on this show.
Best we can. In our little limited corner of the world.
We want to help all of you guys grow and embrace the inevitable. Learn from our mistakes.
So how's my Storm Boy look now, Mark?
Where's the green?
There is no green.
You got to paint him green.
There's no green.
All right. Then he's not a Storm Boy.
There will be no green.
Oh. I see life through green filtered glasses.
That is true.
So. All right. Well, this is going to be the boss leader for my unit of boys that I'm painting.
Sweet.
So, yay. My goal for this week is going to be before Wednesday night's show to get the giant airbrushed.
Right.
So that way I can start painting on the giant. Because I think the boys is going to be pretty monotonous to watch me paint 10 boys.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that.
So I will be working on that hopefully Monday nights, maybe even tomorrow night. It looks better, needs more teeth and green. Yeah.
Hate you. I've actually missed Mark not being on the show as much. He's got this life thing going on.
Yeah. Well,
He's not looking too bad.
I don't think he's looking bad at all.
Not getting no.
But we're running out of time, buddy.
Well, is it getting close? Oh, it is getting close.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, then I will not start new stuff.
I'm just going to do a wash of green on my Orc Boy.
Well, then I'm gonna show. It's gonna be a real quick flash of a preview of the basic colors of the new terrain piece I'm working on for Darren.
Okay.
There it is.
That was a flash.
Did you see it?
No, because I was actually painting, sir.
All right, here it comes again. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, looks like Joe painted it.
Oh,
with all the gold.
Oh,
look at that.
I have a lot to do on it yet. I got to do a lot of the weathering.
Yeah, that white was pretty stark.
12 to 18-hour days. Wow, dude. That sucks.
What do you do for 12 days? Is he medical?
I'm not sure what FH does. I tell you, I know about that 12 to 18 hours. I know exactly where it leads. It leads to an aortic dissection and an embolism.
Take it from a man that had one.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you ever have a day where you go, man, my chest and leg hurts, gets to a hospital.
So. Yeah, my buddy Jason's learned that lesson.
Yep.
So he decided not to go to the hospital when he was having chest pain.
I actually, John Matthews and Rob Villeneuve saved my life that day. So
yeah, Rob just said, "You're going to the hospital. Let's go."
And you don't argue with Rob, or he will smash you.
Nums. We need a T-shirt.
Little friends.
We need a T-shirt that just goes num.
Num.
All conference calls. I'm in cybersecurity. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds rough. 12, 18-hour days just on conference calls.
Yeah, during the lockdown, Greg was the same thing. He was working from home, and we would literally play World of Tank Blitz between his conference meetings. So
yeah, that's one thing I kind of do appreciate with my job is my office is a truck.
Yeah.
My workspace is the world, so I just drive it.
Yeah. Granted, I had the same thing when I worked for Orkin Pest Control. I, literally my only interaction was if a customer happened to be home when I got there to do the treatment.
Right.
And the rest of the time I'm driving around the desert basically because it was above Cave Creek.
Right.
That's all built up now, but back then it was all desert, and I just drive around in my little truck with my stereo blaring,
hitting your appointments, hitting little
traffic. I have my second banner is on the way.
Oh yeah,
so my second banner is coming.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it'll be awesome, and that's the actual just general Space Wolf banners. Really cool. So, and my new T-shirt.
Yeah, I tried, but telling people no. All day takes my attention.
Yeah, it's a pain. It's a pain.
Yeah. Well, and this new work environment of working from home, I think is causing a lot of undue stress on people. Because home is supposed to be your sanctuary and your place of peace and relaxation. And the fact that you then start associating home with work can really cause stress.
Well, that's see, now I can actually get out and go do things. But over the year that we were locked down, my studio, my bed's right there.
Right.
And so I was eating meals here. Right. And it just got monotonous, and I just had to. And so now, but now, like I go out on the bike, I can get out of the house, go somewhere, and do something, and that helps a lot. But when I was in the middle of lockdown, it was horrible.
Yeah, it has stress, but unfortunately though, I think this new work at home life is going to become more of the norm for businesses, and it shouldn't. To be honest with you, I think people should actually be turned off by wanting to work from home. I get it. You can roll out of bed and wear pajamas to work. But your home should not be your workplace.
I think things in that situation for me would be better if, like, when I'm to the point, which I'm almost there very soon, hopefully by the time I get back from Arizona, I can actually make this room my workspace and only my workspace.
Which is perfect.
And then I can separate the two, where right now I can't separate the two.
Well, Mark says he's been doing it for 3 years, but he usually travels to Asia. And again, that would make more sense if your work from home life is minimal or as least as much as possible, and you're doing other things, traveling and whatnot. But it's become different for a lot of people, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is I've been in Zoom meetings and conference calls, and and you and I even suffer a bit just doing the streaming, is the fact they don't, the conversations are not like when you're sitting there face to face, or you sometimes have delay, you have technical issues. It gets to be difficult, and then when you're doing that on a regular basis every single day.
Well, and you also miss out on the person's nonverbal cues.
Right.
Like, you only see me from here to here. You don't see what my hands are doing. You don't see if I'm stressed. You don't see if I'm clenching my hand. You're just seeing a lot of the other cues that people are going through.
Right.
Where in the workplace, if you and I were sitting down across the desk having a meeting and you notice stressors in me, and you could say, hey, dude, you need some help, or how can I help you, or what can I do? Yeah.
30 years in sales, you learn to read body language pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I used to be able to tell literally within the third or fourth minute of the conversation whether or not I was going to be able to close the sale or not based on their body language.
Yeah. You know. And David just popped in to say better late than never.
we were saying nice things about you. Just if anybody tells you different, they're lying. It was all nice things, David.
All nice things. So, but yeah, that's just, again, that's the new work norm, unfortunately. And
all right, so let's go over the homework we have for this week. Meditation, but you also have to watch the end credit scene from the Suicide Squad.
I'm gonna do, my groceries aren't supposed to be picked up till 9. So the good thing about streaming is literally it will just pick up where I left off last night. So I left off where I thought the end of the movie was.
Yeah, so just go and watch that end credit scene.
I can just go in and just turn the TV on, watch the end credit scene, go.
Why don't you get some num-nums?
Num-num.
Num-num, why are you doing that?
Num-num. I should just start talking like that on the show.
And
paintbrush.
That actually described how I pick paint.
That is so you.
Only when I'm using a synthetic brush, my friend.
That is so that I can just imagine. Like, that was, and I don't want to give any more spoilers. There was so much funny stuff.
You want to.
Next Wednesday we'll spoil it all.
There you go.
Like, if you haven't watched it by Wednesday, sorry.
Everyone watching right now, their homework is to watch that movie so we can talk about it freely next week. Yes,
openly and freely.
There you go.
Of course, we'll probably move on because I also got caught up on Lego Masters.
I haven't seen a new episode in a while.
So the last one I watched was the Hat episode.
Yeah, that was the last one.
They did 2 more there, but the last one, Suicide Squad did.
Which one was the demolition one?
That was the last one.
All right, that's the last one I saw. Yeah.
Okay. David, Suicide Squad, go watch it.
HBO Max is awesome.
That's all I can say. Yeah, I caught it in that demolition. That was just hilarious. That kid that right off the table.
Yeah. He had the big advantage. He could wait, and he literally just drove right off the end of the table. That was awesome.
That was just hilarious.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
He's all caught up except for the newest. Got it. Cool.
Bad Batch is rocking. And they just got approved for a 2nd season.
Sweet. All right, everybody. Well, I've got homework to do. You've all got homework to do. We'll be back Wednesday night, right?
Yep.
Okay, because are we going to go all the way up until you leave?
Yeah, the night before I fly out on Thursday, we will have a show the night before I leave unless something really dramatic happens. But yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. So we'll be here Wednesday night with the Wolf's Den and usual stuff. Wednesday and Saturdays. You guys know the routine.
Yep.
Come join us, and we will catch you all on Wednesday. Have a great week. Anything you want to say before we go?
See you guys.
Bye.